Avoidance will often prioritize other things, other people, over your relationship. This is a way of creating emotional distance between themselves and their partner. They'll often prioritize work over the relationship, prioritize friendships over the relationship, prioritize hobbies, interests, anything over the relationship. Constantly changing plans, being too busy to make plans because they're prioritizing other things. You always feel like you're on the back burner with this person. And that's because you are. If you're dealing with a dismissive avoidant or a fearful avoidant that leans heavily dismissive, it is very common for them to prioritize other things over the relationship. And they do so to create emotional distance. That's because emotional closeness, too much vulnerability, emotional intimacy feels unsafe to them. It gives them a ton of anxiety. So, by creating emotional distance, they get to soothe themselves and help ease their anxiety. Now, the reason why emotional closeness feels unsafe to them is their childhood. This is a person that received consistent childhood emotional neglect, growing up in households where you don't talk about feelings, where their feelings were routinely rejected and dismissed. Stoic parents. Children are meant to be seen, not heard, that kind of attitude. The problem is, they personalize that neglect, growing up to feel unlovable and defective. This is a core wound of shame. And this is why they don't feel safe being vulnerable, because their subconscious fear, and in most cases it lies in this unconscious mind, although some are consciously aware of it. The fear is if I lower my walls and let my partner in, they're going to figure out that I'm defective and not lovable, and they're going to reject and abandon me. So if I keep them at an emotional arm's length, I protect myself from getting exposed. Being vulnerable really gives them a ton of anxiety because of that core wound of shame and defectiveness. So they get to control the pace of the relationship by constantly creating distance. It actually puts them in the power position of the relationship, not because they crave power like a narcissist, but being in control helps them feel safe. So if they're constantly prioritizing things over you, and it feels that way, it's not actually a reflection of you or how fun you are as a partner or how lovable you are. It's a reflection of them and their fears and insecurities about getting emotional intimacy with you. It's their fears, it's their insecurities at play. It's not a reflection of you at all. And in fact, the more special of a partner that they view you to be, the more they feel compelled to create emotional distance between you and them, because they view you as being someone that's better than they deserve. And if they let you in too close, you're going to figure out that you're better than they deserve and you're going to reject them. It's a maladaptive self-defense mechanism. It's a coping mechanism. Plus, all these busybody activities are a method of avoiding. Because they were never shown how to process emotions, they learn to suppress it and avoid anything that's unpleasant. These distractions, work, family, friends, hobbies, it keeps them busy and helps them avoid having to face the painful emotions, fears, and anxieties that they don't want to face. It's not a reflection of you at all. But you do have an opportunity to hold a boundary. If they're constantly changing plans and you feel like you're being neglected in the relationship, you can actually assert your boundary, which is your limit of what you want, don't need, what you'll tolerate, not tolerate, and what your expectations are. And you can simply lay it out there that I've been noticing that there's been a lot of plans being canceled, and I feel like the relationship is not being prioritized. And this is what works for me. This is what I need. I need to be able to see my partner more than once every 3 weeks. I'm canceling plans last minute. Doesn't work for me. You can set those limits. And yes, it might result in them leaving the relationship. But if they do, what they're telling you is that they were never concerned about your needs. They didn't want to build intimacy, and your expectations, they were never going to meet them. And yes, you'd be losing the relationship, but you'd be losing a one-sided relationship where your needs aren't being met. And now you'd be free to meet a person that will prioritize you, prioritize the relationship, and work to meet your needs. Don't sell yourself short.